see Teddy Bridgewater and the Denver Broncos taking on Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears.
An absolutely perfect fall afternoon for football, and we are under bright blue Colorado skies at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Bridgewater to throw it. And he'll go right back to Green, but this time it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, bro?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
They run for the first time with Javonte Williams. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Bridgewater gives to Williams here on the draw. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Well, this defense for the Bears, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Taken down, a Bear sack. Bilal Nichols coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this works out well as it'll kick out of bounds at the 11-yard line. So here are the Bears banked up to start their initial drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, what's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. First carry now for David Montgomery. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
Second and 11. Now it's Fields.
This one complete to Scott Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like
yeah,
that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Handoff comes to Montgomery.
Aaron Browning, the one who brought him down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
That's not good enough, man.
And that'll set them back 5.
To throw is Fields.
And it's caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bears have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield, and I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down.
The draw. Here's Williams.
And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. No luck whatsoever there on the draw.
Yeah, they're supposed to use their aggressiveness against them. That was the hope. But maybe they had too big of a meal last night. A half step slow, and he ends up running right into the meat of the defense.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. He shakes it off. Being chased out left.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Now that's a quarterback who's in charge out there right now. Wants to throw the ball on 3rd down, doesn't find anyone open, tucks it away, takes off, and picks up the first down. Not by a little, but by plenty.
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater.
And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Now it's a bootleg with Bridgewater.
Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end.
Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing, Bridgewater.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
On 2nd down now, it's Williams. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, Bridgewater. Finding Green complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Bridgewater's throw there taken in by Smith. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at about the Bears' 14. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And he fends him off. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning. We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's Bridgewater. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, Bridgewater. And he's unable to haul it in. And so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up fourth.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap, Fields. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Fields eluding the pressure right. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he checks this one down to Williams. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Here's Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery as the first half is winding down. And the Bears have taken the lead. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive as they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And not much happening there as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Here comes Grant on the return. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take...
Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball-controlled football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Yeah, boy, and it's tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And he will have the Bears first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They run. Montgomery. They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From just shy of midfield, Fields. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On play action, Fields. They'll roll him out right. And this is caught at the 8.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Darnell Mooney,
his second touchdown on the season as the Bears push further out in front. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give him a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it's now 21-7.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And caught, right side, Green. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They give it to Williams, running right. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at
the 43. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
First down throw for Bridgewater. This is Smith with a grab. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. It's a big play there for the Broncos. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Williams.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon. And he'll get in! Touchdown, Denver!
Javonte Williams.
His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Broncos have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Gonzalez good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is Jakeem Grant. And he returns this to the 22. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each inning in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack, or do you dial it back a little bit to try to protect this lead?
Well, my cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Forced out to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
Dancing to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On the carry, it's Montgomery. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real. And I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players. But you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Fields now to throw. Steps away to his left. Looking left side, and it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Off-play action, Fields. Rolling to his right. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. Again, Fields. Buying time to his left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on third down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Fields. That's complete to Mooney. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Blankenship's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
So now Bridgewater and the Broncos down 24-14. A minute 54 on the clock. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Bridgewater to throw. Gets this to Fant, and he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. The Broncos in the hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly. And that's caught by Williams. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Now Bridgewater. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game.
Bridgewater's throw into the hands of Fant.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Here's Bridgewater. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that 1st down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Bridgewater. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on 1st down. Bridgewater.
He'll drop this down to Williams.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Counting down at 30 seconds remaining. To the air again with Bridgewater. That's going to be caught. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Running with Montgomery from the pistol. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout. Call. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Now a handoff here to his running back. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang.
I shall come forth as pure gold. Have you been tried in the fire? Have you been tried in the fire? Well, tell me, did you come through as pure gold?
You get like the benefactor. Well, truthfully, we know you never been a factor. Well, honestly, the truth is that you've been an actor. And now your actions got them boys about to max up. Lectures from the devil got you piping hot. This up and you get screwed and chopped, no Michael Watts. When I was 10, I knew I should have been on rap a lot. Think like Jay Prince and I do more than just rap a lot. I went and got my digits up. Your favorite, bruh. You don't want no trouble, cuz. The 25th, I got a meeting with the governor. That's real rap a lot, no cap a lot. I used to from Farron down to Camelot. I used to whip up in my granny's pot. She asked my friends, was I? They said, nope, he not. The mind to a praying woman. The truth's a heavy burden and it's weighing on me. Red Doggies caught me slipping with the wailing on me. I went to calling out for Jesus like a reverend on me. Chalked it up to sin, took it on my chin. Gotta take some L's if you wanna win. They took a but didn't take us in. I didn't even have no re-up I could re-up with. Had to rob another just to re-up. Pray to God that in his heart he found forgiveness for me. It was nothing personal, it was just business for me. When I got on, I paid him back and told him it was ugly. I